Okay, we just entered this abandoned mine. I'm just inside the portal, and you can see some daylight up ahead, probably from a skylight. Here is a winze. Don't know where that goes. It goes down pretty far. And we're headed that way. Okay, we're in this stope chamber, and we're going to go through this passageway through that little hole Justin just went through. Let's go check it out. So here's the hole we...
Explain this to me. What's going on here?
So here's the hole we have to all
Like
go
why?
through.
Is this...
And here comes Todd.
Was this not a part of this other part of this section of the mine and somebody else punched through, or how did that...
Yeah, two different mines.
Okay.
And then we're headed this way.
Because I was fixing to say, I was like, this is not... Just be careful, man. I hate to happen to say that, but this one's kind of... I can see the coming through here.
So we made our way down to this chamber. Here's a really deep winze, hundreds of feet deep. To access this chamber, we had to come through this. You can see Todd there coming through another small opening. And we put some boards there to give us a little bit of support to help navigating through that, down that slope.
Yeah, I still... There we go. All right. Sorry, Joe.
So here comes Todd.
Oh, holy shnikes. I see what you guys are saying now. Nice. Oh, let me get your pack, Joe.
Yeah. So now we're headed this way. Here's another little makeshift bridge over a cut. So this is one of these mines with a lot of stoping all over the place. I call them Swiss cheese mines or Swiss cheese stopes. All these little chambers and holes that are tunnels leading to other little chambers. See, that goes up there. And anyway, we got to cross this false floor. You can see that goes way down there. This is what they call a false floor. Todd, Joe, and Justin are already ahead of me. They already went across this. Just two big steps, basically. Like that. And then we're in a tunnel. Some gobbing right there where my light is. Rocks that are stacked up. Miners do that to keep them out of the way and keep the place kind of neat and tidy. Look at that over there. That's more stoping over that way. But we're headed this way to the left. There's another winze here off to the side.
Looks like it's about 100 feet down. There'll be a much easier way to get down.
So we just came from that way. You can see the stope chamber, and we're all headed this way.
Stick to the right.
Another little offshoot that's filled in. And this pile right here, this pile of dirt, came from that stope up there. So we're headed that way. Here's another little inclined, looks like it's a dead end down there, but yeah, like I said, it resembles Swiss cheese. That looks like a dead end back there. And that's where we came from. There's that dirt pile. So let's keep going forward. Here's a pillar, probably left here for support. In these stopes, a room and pillar stope, that's pretty common. more Swiss cheese stoping.
The lead and, well, this just faces out as well. Some nice mineralization throughout this.
Okay, just came up through this hole, and looks like there's a drift here. See that down there? We're headed that way. So we just came down into this drift tunnel, and looks like there's a winze up here with a windlass above it. You can see the vein right there, one of the many veins. Yeah, here's a winze. A winze is a small shaft that connects levels in a mine. Oh my, that goes way down there. Jeez. I think we're going this way though. More Swiss cheese stoping. Same thing right here. Here is another winze. This one has a ladder. Wow, that goes down pretty far. So when you come across these winzes in mines, you have to be very mindful of what they call a collar, which is the wood you see where my light is. It makes a square frame around the winze. The ground around collars can subside unexpectedly. So if you get too close, like what happened right here, the ground gave way and collapsed, and in some winzes, those collars only go down so far, and then there's a gap there leading into that drop of 100 feet or so. So you don't want to go down through that hole if it would collapse underneath your feet. So always be careful going around collars. And then ladders, that's a whole nother issue. Okay, we all just took a break right by that winze where the ladder's sticking up, and we're gonna continue down this level, the tunnel on this level, which goes this way. Ooh, kind of low clearance here. This is about 5 feet tall. Wow, it's kind of like an ore pass going down there. We're headed that way, but here's another rubble pile that came from higher up in the stopes, from up there. Let's keep going this way. Turn here to the right. Now we got a bridge. Okay, got across these bridges. This one has a trap door. See the hinges right there where my light is? They must have pulled this open. It might have been a ladder. There's a shaft under here going down at a steep angle, so they would open the ladder, or open the hatch here to access the ladder. There's another bridge. Okay, just squeezed past this rubble pile and continuing down the tunnel here. It's really sparkly in here, but it's probably not coming out in the video, unfortunately. The lighting tends to drown out the sparkles, but yeah, it's really looks like glitter through here. More stoping up there where my light is, but we're headed this way. Another wind's here going down. Used to be a windlass above it right there where the crank, they have a spool here on a crank and the cable to haul up the skip car from the lower levels that are below this false floor. Nice looking back at the windlass. And we just came from back there. Very low ceiling here. Oh my gosh. Well, this drift tunnel ends here at this big vertical shaft. Goes down here a good ways as well as up. You can see support structure going all the way up. Had a windlass for a crank. And yeah, that's as far as we can go here.